Hey guys, it is Jen with Mother Time. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have another fun and easy craft, you guys. This one is so stinking cute. Look at this star rusted garden stake. This started with a star from Dollar Tree. Now, I love the patriotic stars, so don't get me wrong. I actually kept a few that have the patriotic. I love this as well. It's super cute, but I wanted to give you another option of what you could do with these. So you could use these year round. So if you're into country and primitive decor like I am, look at how cute these are. You could use these year round. So these are super cute too, but I wanted to show you an idea. Now I went online and pulled these kind of stars up, and I could not believe how much they were selling these for. I actually shared it on my Instagram stories because the one that I found was at Walmart for like $24 for one of these. This, you guys, cost me $1 from Dollar Tree and a few simple supplies. So I cannot wait to show you how I make this to give it that really cute rusted look. This looks like something you would see at a craft show and would definitely spend more than $1 for. You can make a whole bunch of them, grab a bunch of these stars at Dollar Tree, but definitely want to pick those up soon because you know those are seasonal, so they will sell out. Grab them and then you have them, but I think these are also super cute to stick in a tree. So think for Christmas too. You know, use these indoor or outdoor. I put a few in a milk jug right here. You could definitely use these outside. I'm actually going to be using outdoor Mod Podge, so it can be used outside too. So if you want to use them outside, or you can just use regular like matte Mod Podge if you don't intend to use these outside. Super easy to do, and I cannot wait to show you how I make these now. The supplies you're going to need for this project is one of these garden stakes from Dollar Tree. This is in their seasonal section. If you can't find one at Dollar Tree, you can check maybe Walmart or even Tractor Supply. They may have similar ones like this too. And then you're going to need some brown spray paint. I am using Rust-Oleum in the color Espresso. I just like that nice dark chocolatey color, but any brown spray paint would work. But this is the results that you're going to get using this brown color. So if you wanted to replicate what I have, this is the color that I'm using, and I just get this at the local hardware store for like $3 or $4. And then you're going to need some Mod Podge. Like I mentioned before, I'm using outdoor Mod Podge. This is definitely thicker, but if you want to use these outside or exposed to the elements, I do recommend the outdoor Mod Podge, or you'll want to use like some sort of outdoor sealer afterwards. If you don't plan on using these outside, then you could use just regular matte Mod Podge. And then some cinnamon, and this is just cinnamon from Dollar Tree. Cinnamon, easy peasy. And if you again, you want to replicate how mine looks with that piece of homespun fabric, I just tear a piece of homespun fabric, and I get my homespun fabric at Hobby Lobby. So to begin, you're going to want to spray paint your star like I already did here. So this is what it looks like before. Remove your tag and spray paint both sides. You could stick this in the ground and spray paint it both sides at once, or I just do one side if I'm not in a rush, spray paint one side and then flip it over and spray paint the other. I only apply the rustic look on the front, but you could definitely add it to the back as well. This is again the final look of how it looks, because this is just going into either a milk jug or into my tree or something. I really don't care about the other side, but of course you feel free to add it to the other side too. So once you have it spray painted, this is what it's going to look like, and this is what we're going to be working with today. So what I like to do is use an aluminum foil pan or a plate, because it does get just a little messy when you're sprinkling the cinnamon. And then what we're going to do is apply a thin coat of Mod Podge just to the front of the star. So I'm going to apply that here. So get out your Mod Podge, get a paintbrush or a spongy brush. I like to use the sponge brushes too, but I can't find mine. Now, like I said, this the outdoor Mod Podge is really, really thick. So, but it still works. It still works. And then you're just going to apply a thin coat on top like so. Doesn't need to be too heavy. It's going to adhere to the cinnamon that we're going to sprinkle on here in just a second. So I just get a nice thin coat like that. Super, super easy. All right, next you're going to take your cinnamon. Any cinnamon will do. I suggest getting the inexpensive cinnamon so you're not spending a lot on it. And we're going to sprinkle it generously with the, on top of the Mod Podge. Open up, I didn't realize this was a new one. Get that opened up here. And you could that's why if you use like an aluminum pan or plate, you could definitely reuse the cinnamon that goes onto the plate. So a nice, generous coat. A lot of people ask me, I post these on Instagram too, if these smell like cinnamon afterwards, and they really don't. The Mod Podge kind of seals that smell in. When you smell the cinnamon, so if you are sensitive to the cinnamon smell, you're gonna smell it now. So if you want that cinnamon smell, or if you don't want that cinnamon smell, this is when you're gonna smell it. So you see, I'm applying a really nice, generous coat on there to make sure it gets on there. And then I do a tapping. I like to tap it and get it all, you know, so I have a nice thick coat. Then what I'll do is I'll save that and use that for another project. I'll just put that back in because I definitely don't use this cinnamon for cooking. So I just go and I'll put that back into the bowl. Now if I do see some little spots there that I want to get covered, but this is supposed to be rustic. It's not supposed to be perfect. So, all right. So see, that is how it looks once it's covered. Easy as that. Super, super easy. So I'm going to put this aside and grab another plate so we can then apply the Mod Podge on top. And this is where you want to make sure you're dabbing it on so you're not brushing that over. All right, so I'm going to use another plate so I can reuse the cinnamon that's on that plate. Then I'm going to grab another plate to add some Mod Podge. This is so thick that it doesn't come out very easily. But I like to just put it on a plate so I'm not dipping into that. It is so thick. All right. So there's my Mod Podge. And now this is where we're going to want to work. Now you don't want to brush this on or you're going to be brushing the cinnamon that you just took the time to make sure was on. So what I like to do is like a dabbing. And this is where I do like to use my sponge, but a paintbrush works just as well. But I do like to, and I actually get my hands right into the Mod Podge and then I kind of dab it in. And if it doesn't seem like it's, because this is thicker, you definitely want to dab it in just like that. And you're just going to do a dabbing motion all over it. And then this does take a few hours to dry. So you'll have to be patient, do it at night and let it, you know, sleep on it. So when you wake up in the morning, it'll be nice and dry. If it's a nice day, I will put these outside, or I like to put them on a windowsill and let them bake. Of course, you don't want to ever put these in the oven, but I will put them like in the windowsill. That kind of helps speed up the process too. So do you see how I'm dabbing it here? And I don't want it so you're getting thick, goopy pieces of Mod Podge. So I kind of do brush when that comes off, and I just lightly. So just be patient and have fun with it. Again, just working in little sections and then just dabbing it on. And that's where I like to really get my hand in here so I can really get a nice application of the Mod Podge onto here without spreading it around. So I'm going to go around here now and get this all applied just like so. Easy as that. So just go through, kind of just dab it on, nice and slow, and you'll get a fabulous end result. And the one thing is when it's done and it is dry, if you notice any little spots that you want to fill in, just add a little coat of Mod Podge, sprinkle it with cinnamon, and dab the Mod Podge back on top. So you really can't mess this up. You really can't mess it up. You can just have to go back and then add another coat. So, and if you check out my blog, I did post some rustic shovels. They're actually rakes. I don't know why I call them shovels, that look just like this. I did the same technique. It's also on my Instagram page too. So check out my Instagram. I post a lot of things there on Instagram, short and quick and easy projects, very similar to this. So sometimes I don't get the full videos up. You can always follow me on Instagram for lots of DIY and craft inspo there too. So let me show you how this little part looks. Again, getting it all dabbed in. I don't want to have any big clumpy areas. You know, the more thicker it goes, the longer it's going to take to dry too. But like I said, look at my fingers. I definitely like to get my fingers into it. That's where the sponge really comes in handy, because I feel like I have a little bit more control, but this works. This is fine. So I'm going through and adding that, kind of just slowly dabbing it in, giving it a nice little paste there. Okay, so I just applied. This is why I love this. This is a really easy one to do. You could do this technique on anything you'd like, so have fun with it. Just work in sections. If you are working on a bigger project, like when I did my shovels, you're not going to obviously want to cover the entire piece with Mod Podge at once. Kind of work in sections, but since this one is so small, you can kind of do it. So this is a good way to kind of practice this this technique of giving this a rustic look. And then I kind of just do this. I kind of just, I mean, I am barely touching, but just gently taking my brush and just going like this. You don't even have to do that, but I just kind of just lightly, I mean, I'm as light as a feather right now. If you can see, very gently just going over it. And this is how it looks when you're done. And you're gonna be like, okay, that's it. Now it's gotta dry, and this does take a couple hours to dry, but trust me, it's worth it. Again, you don't have to put it outside or at a window. If you have that, you know, just speed it up a little bit, kind of bake it a little bit. But if not, if you don't have a window to put it at, no worries, just set it aside. It'll just take a little bit longer to dry. So this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to set it aside to dry and get my hands nice and washed. Again, this is what it looks like once it is wet. Then again, you're just going to set it aside to dry. It's going to definitely take several hours to dry. So just be patient with it. And if you do it out and you can get some sun on it, it will speed up the drying process. So now, once it's dry, it will look like one of the ones I already have done. And from there, you can just enjoy it. This is what it's going to look like when it's done, I assure you. And if you have any spots that you're not happy with, you can just go over it again, add a little coat of Mod Podge, sprinkle it with the cinnamon, and then add a little dab it. So if you see a little section you don't like, but I've made a bunch of these and I just think these are super cute. And then all I did is I took a piece of torn homespun fabric. I get my fabric at Hobby Lobby, tore a little piece off so it gives you that nice fringy country look, tied it around and cut it. It's easy as that, you guys. Super easy, and these are so cute. And you just spent $1 and a couple little supplies. That's all you needed. So how fun and easy is this craft? Let me know in the comments below what you think of this. I love the way this turns out. This looks like something you would find at a craft show. Definitely spending more than $1. I have a few of them sitting here in my little milk jug. This is from Hobby Lobby. But again, you could have so much fun with this and put these in the ground, or I plan on using some in a tree for Christmas. But then also I have a little Americana tree that I'm going to pop these into. I think they're going to look really cute. So fun to use and so easy to make. Let me know if you make these too. That's it, you guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and crafting today. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you follow me on Instagram too for more crafting inspo. Thanks for watching, you guys.